Sorry, that was
A rather potent gust.
to bring in the beginning of Celebrity Dutch Oven. Oh.
Welcome to a new regular feature of the show, Celebrity Dutch Oven. Each week we get a celebrity guest into the studio to answer questions on their life and their career, whilst simultaneously farting under a cover. And then at the end of it, we all take a big whiff under the cover and
Try and guess what they've eaten.
See what they've eaten. This week's guest, Darren, will let you do the introducing.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty excited to have him on myself. Is Mr. Barry Robson, Celtic and Scotland midfield dynamo, as some people might call you.
Hello,
Well, it's a great privilege having you here. Thanks for coming in.
it's nice to be here.
Has it been a long journey for you?
Quite long. Had to come over from Lennoxtown.
Ah, are you enjoying things over there?
Yes.
Good, good. Now, this is a short podcast, and many questions have been sent in about because you're pretty much one of the Scotland's top 5 celebrities.
Yes.
Granted, you might have been knocked into the top 10 after Susan Boyle's dramatic
Yes.
success story. Have you any opinions on that yourself?
I don't know. I don't really like pop music.
Do you like any music?
I like Kaylee music
Yeah.
and Ethiopian healing dance music.
All right. Any reason in particular?
No.
Good, good. Well, given your career is mainly based around the footballing world, what out with football would you say was your favourite pastime or sport even?
I think running. I like running.
All right. For fun, or
No.
why do you like running?
It's good for your heart.
Do you run in any place in particular?
Outside.
And for how long would you run?
A few days. I get tired after a few days.
Days.
Yes.
That is slightly weird, if not interesting.
So not normal.
No, not really. Well, myself, I run I don't really run. I kind of more meander places, I suppose. We'll move on from this point, shall we?
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about your career.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what would you say your highlight to date has been?
Well, I was playing in an Inverness Cup match about 5 years ago, and I scored 8 headers. We won 8-1.
Oh, do you remember who this was against?
I think it was against Inverrokey Local.
I mean, where was the club that you started out? Was it as a boy with Inverness, or
It was Inverness Boys Club, yes.
what was that like as a training environment? Did you find it was a place that helped hone your skills and teach you about world football?
Made me good at headers. You could kick the ball really hard.
Yeah. What would you say the biggest thing you learned from your time at Inverness was?
To keep fit
And how did they help you do that?
by running.
Which we've already discovered as a pastime of yours, yeah.
Yes.
So they made you run for days,
Yes.
just round Inverness.
And down south and back.
Good, great. And
Sometimes even as far south as Auchenhowie.
okay, and whereabouts in the area did you grow up?
Schuchelnichty.
And what was that like to grow up in?
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Small town.
Would you describe yourself as a small town guy?
Yes.
What? Yeah. Coming to the city, how was that affect the way you?
Glasgow's quite big. It's pretty warm as well.
Yeah.
I struggled with the heat when I came first.
Did you find Dundee a good transitioning place?
Dundee was quite warm as well.
Yeah. Calls itself the City of Discovery, which I was quite disappointed to find out was actually a boat and not the term the city was calling itself. How would you describe Dundee?
It's warm.
Warm. Anything else?
It was good fun.
Really? I find that hard to believe.
Well, I was given a bit of paper when I signed, so I could play with that.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, we have some questions that have been sent in through text messaging and emailing, which we'll remind you later if you want to do yourself. Helga from Port Glasgow asks, how would you compare the SPL to the rest of the world leagues?
I don't know. SPL's okay, but it's a little bit more fairy than the Highland League.
Really?
You get more men playing up north.
And do you prefer that?
Yeah, I like men. Would you like to know my favourite sweetie?
I'd love to know your favourite sweetie.
Oatcakes.
Of all the great footballers you've played alongside, such as Paul Hartley and
Jan Vinegar of Hesselink.
Jan Vennegar of Hesseling, who would you say has been the most influential player in your style?
Lee Wilkie.
Lee Wilkie.
Captain fantastic.
Really?
Don't know how he doesn't get a game for Scotland.
Were you not captain when you were there?
I think I was. Can't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were.
They made me wear an armband, but I think that's because I was best at headers.
Right, okay. And what about the kind of player you've played against and thought, this guy is at the tip of his career?
Lee Wilkie.
Lee Wilkie again.
So hard to play against.
In what way? Given that he...
So good at headers.
Headers seems to be a big factor in the way...
He's nearly as good as me.
Is headers the primary thing you think you express football through?
Yes.
Football? Yeah.
And running.
Running and heading?
Yes.
Right, okay. I'm going to leave that there.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Barry.
Bye, Barry. That was quite interesting that I didn't ask him any of the questions there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, that evil disdain you have for Barry Robson is quite deep-rooted.
It's a thing that I have for all Celtic players. I have to leave the recording studio.
This is unique penalty-taking skills of firing it straight down the middle every single time he gets a chance. Yeah.
Bit of a legend.
Yeah.
The Fin and Darren Show. So good, they make onions cry.